situation out, 30 seconds. One thing I want to say, Tommy wasn't going to come today.
The world that does not have the knowledge that our government, our social services and our police forces sacrificed a generation of our daughters at the multiculturalism altar. Outside this court, it says we will defend the children of the poor and punish the wrongdoer. That's what it says on this court. We will defend the children of the poor and punish the wrongdoer. They have not defended the children of the poor. They are punishing the people who speak out in defence of the children of the poor. Portray that I am hated, whereas in reality it's you that are hated. You have lied, you have played your part, and all of you who call yourself journalists, you all knew what was happening to those girls in all of those towns and cities, and you've done nothing, you said nothing. I think we should remember why we are here. What was I talking about outside that door that day? There are still young girls now in every single town and city that have been taken from us, taken from their mums as sexual slaves at the hands of Islamic gangs. I want to spend, if the intention of this imprisonment was to prevent the public having knowledge, I want to spend the next 6 months travelling to towns and cities that have been blighted by these problems.
What happened the first time?
I slept with him.
How old was you?
I was 11 Tom.
He had sex with you when he was 11, so he raped you. Oh my God, and were the police involved in that?
Yeah, and because the charges were dropped.
Who got the police involved?
My parents. I stayed to talk to you.
Oh, but I wish I just had you know them myself.
Because I said to my mum yesterday, I was like, Tommy will know the truth. I didn't think I'd be strong enough to sit here now and talk to you. I didn't.
Do you mind if I ask why you are sat here talking to me?
Because I think that I'm sat here talking to you because you should know the truth. It's all right having it third hand or...
Do you mind if I ask why you want me to have the truth?
Because I think there's so many other girls out there that are being abused by these people. Just be straight up and tell everyone the truth, how it actually happened.
Now I should tell you, an independent inquiry into the sexual exploitation of children in Telford and Wrekin has been going on for well over 2 years. It's been led by the law firm Eversheds Sutherland. The problem is, and I'm quoting from its terms of reference, the aim and purpose of the inquiry is to raise public awareness into child exploitation in Telford during the period of the inquiry, and the inquiry wants to hear from survivors of abuse. But if accusations are made, the accused will be notified of the accusation and given the name of the accuser. That's a legal obligation. The accuser can object to the accused being informed, but then the inquiry cannot use their evidence. We have also been told that many of those who know most about what has gone on in Telford and Wrekin, the police, social services and counsellors, many of them are refusing to help the inquiry at all. The inquiry will do nothing to bring justice to the victims. Now we know the flagship Telford investigation, Chalice, resulted in 11 convictions. 11. That's it. Yet our shoestring investigation has been given over 200 names of alleged perpetrators. We also know the independent inquiry has been given over 300 names. We can shortcut the conclusions of the inquiry for you. The performance of the police, social services, counsellors, it was woeful at best, but more than likely a deliberate attempt to cover up these crimes against little girls for fear of being called racist, or in the interests of community cohesion, or, as we will hear and see, because of corruption. Covering things up doesn't create community cohesion. It does the opposite. Any right-thinking member of the community, of any community, regardless of their culture or their religion, would agree. It also destroys trust in public institutions, the very institutions that taxpayers fund to protect us all, especially the vulnerable. Police, social services, politicians. No one's been fired for this cover-up or corruption, and I suspect no one has even had so much as a verbal or written warning. These people just shuffle off into retirement with their fat pensions. And the abuse is still going on today, right now, in Telford and Wrekin. Watch this.
There's an independent inquiry going on at the moment, which is being hosted by an independent QC and an independent solicitor. We are supplying them with 40 years worth of information.
40 years?
40 years worth of information.
Children have been failed.
So that the inquiry
So 40 years children have been
full
failed.
understanding of the situation.
It won't be released just like
Yeah, that's right. The police in Telford have passed 40 years of evidence to the independent inquiry. They've known what has been going on in that town for 40 years, as have the council, social services and the government. And we know, and they know, it's still going on today.
Can we start at the beginning of the abuse and go through some, because we've got your dad's account, but we've not just got your dad's, we've got 4 or 5 other girls from Telford's accounts. A lot of the names and the actions matched up with some of what your dad said. But are you comfortable if we just talk through so I can hear it? Yeah.
So I happened when I was 11.
Yeah.
I've been in Indian in Church Road.
Yeah.
I started working there maybe in April, summertime it was. For the first 3 months I was doing deliveries with Dad. Then it became a thing where someone took a holiday and they said, I need someone inside. So I started working inside.
Is this in the evenings?
Yeah. I worked there packing orders. And answering the phone. People would come in there and look and think, she's too young to be here. Or they would say, oh, do you work here? I'd be left in a restaurant then, while Dad went on deliveries, packing orders. Then you get the flirty eyes and the touching and be like, oh, well, there's not enough space there. Knowing that there was space there. Then my dad started working on the pizza shop next door. He renovated it, and a new face appeared, Bob Ali. I started talking to him, then he started touching me sexually.
When he was 11?
When my dad would go, and he touched me sexually, and I thought, oh, it was normal. I'm a kid, I thought it was normal. And obviously then I started talking to him, meeting up with him on his days off, on my school holidays. One day my mum found out. She called me, texting me on the laptop, and it stopped.
So your mum found out and it stopped? Yeah. But he'd been raping you?
Yeah.
And how old was he?
He was about 28.
Where would he rape you?
In his car.
You were 11?
Yeah.
So it started for you when you was just 11? And you said the police were involved?
Yeah. And my police officer was DC Joe Hayes.
And that's when you was 11? Yeah. So DC Joe Hayes was involved at the age of 11?
Yeah.
And did they arrest him?
They did investigations. He was bailed.
Okay.
And then about 6 months into the process, fell apart. So I was told.
But even if you were to not pursue the case, the police should have prosecuted him if they had. Did you give a statement? Were you
I did tell
a video statement?
I did 3 hours of video statement. They had my laptop, they had the phone.
All his messages. And from that police investigation, so the charges were dropped.
Yeah, everything was dropped.
When all this was blown back up with Telford, did the police come and speak to you about that case?
No.
Has anyone ever spoke to you about that case?
No.
But they did arrest that man at the time.
Yeah, and bailed him.
And his name?
Barber Ali.
Where's he now?
Birmingham.
He's living in Birmingham.
Because he tried contacting me again on Facebook.
Recent.
2018.
And he's in Birmingham. And what was you told when you was 11?
He was deported.
Now, before we go further into Nicole's story, it's time we heard a little more about one of the families in Telford. In fact, 2 brothers. Gulfers Khan, also known as Gaz or Budsy, and Mohammed Charlie Khan. There are a number of allegations in what follows, and we have been given the names of these 2 men by several girls. We want to be clear, nothing has been proven against either of them. Like the independent inquiry though, we will be giving them the right to respond to the allegations made.
Where would you be?
Up in the car.
With?
Either Mohammed Charlie Khan, Rizwan, Tariq, Mahmood, or Bugsy.
And how old was you?
12.
And what would they be doing when you were in the car?
They would talk to me about going to meet certain people, not to tell my dad if they told me to go to that person.
Okay.
So days off, I would say to them, like, after and she'd be like, oh yeah, you can have the day off. And I'd go out. And going out, I'd drop drugs off, I'd meet certain people, drop money off to people.
When you were age 13, 12, 13, 4, who would you be doing these errands for?
It'd be either Bugsy, Mohammed Charlie Khan, or a girl Khan. He's single, or this guy's single, not boy, but this guy's single. Yeah, maybe you should go and meet him. And
This was Mohammed Charlie Khan,
Yeah.
and he was how old?
About 12, 13. It became a vicious circle because if it wasn't Mohammed Charlie Khan, it was Gulfaz Khan.
So Mohammed Charlie Khan and Gulfaz Khan, did either of them rape you?
No.
But they were the ones that were telling you who you had to go and meet?
Yeah. So he would make me believe that, it was, I had to do something, or I would be physically, I would beat him. He would
When you say
my parents or my dad.
when you say do something, you mean he would make you?
Go and see perpetrators.
Okay.
Be abused by perpetrators.
Okay. So he would be Charlie Khan?
Mohammed Charlie Khan. He was also a mental abuser. He would tell me to go and do things to perpetrators.
Who are the main people instructing you and telling you who you had to go and have sex with?
Mohammed Charlie Khan and Gulfaz Khan.
Do you know what Mohammed Charlie Khan does?
He's a solicitor.
He's a solicitor.
And he lives at.
So Mohammed Charlie Khan would tell you regularly the men that you had to be go and meet when you were what age?
12, 13. And Gulfaz Khan was the same.
That description sounds like Mohammed Charlie Khan was your pimp.
Yeah.
So you were controlled by these men for years.
They were in control. They would supply the drugs, they would supply the money, all because they're money laundering.
So Charlie Khan and Gulfaz Khan were involved in the drugs?
Because they supply it.
They were supplying the drugs?
Their nephews supply it. So if they've got no funds and they've got no drugs, let them have no fun. They won't have nothing to abuse anybody. They won't have no instructor to be instructed by.
So if I asked you, you lived in Telford, you were abused by many men, who was the kingpin? Who was the main organiser? Gulfaz Khan. Do you know what position Gulfaz Khan holds now? Are you aware?
I don't.
No? He's the chair of the Telford Muslim Forum.
It's believable. Man seems to have his fingers in many pies. And that's how we all see it.
Is he the fucker who's preaching about grooming in the mosque?
Mohammed Charlie Khan, his brother.
Okay, yeah, no. So he's a as far as everyone's aware, he's a pillar of that community.
Yes, yeah. And he will be like, oh, grooming's wrong, we don't believe in that. We're doing it.
We will be insulting our religion, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah. Listen, you know these people who do bad things, their names come in the media, Muhammad, Abdullah, whatever they are, all these Muslim names, especially these pedos, you know, God forbid. They go up and down the country, Muslim people attacking young women. How insulting is that? You know, really, these people are doing it. Alhamdulillah, we got sisters, we got daughters. We want our, is it safe? Why would we attack other people's?
So there you see it, Mohammed Charlie Khan, teacher in the mosques, solicitor, pillar of the community, explaining how wrong grooming is. Now you've heard about these two pillars of the community, Gulfers Khan and Mohammed Charlie Khan, one the chair of the Telford Muslim Forum, one a solicitor who teaches in the mosque. And we've heard the accusations about their involvement in the drug business in Telford and the pimping of little girls. Well, we've also heard mentioned their nephews. Two of them are of interest to us, Akib Khan and Akil Khan. Let's meet them.
You ever see me in a Rolls Royce, a 6 or 7 star hotel, living my life to the fullest? Don't get jealous of me, because I worked my ass off to get it. Nobody handed me nothing. Wake your ass up. Awaken the beast inside. It's game on.
Someone tell me how the enemy's sleeping. It must be cows that were beefing. All their death threats, but we're still breathing when we catch one in every car section they eating. GBH with a 10 round, yeah, I might show you.
And for the police and members of the public who think taking a knee is a strong statement for Black Lives Matter or just for Black Lives, or good for community relations, you're all fools. Here's what these Muslims make of your strong statement. Bobby Khan, another family member, commented on their post of the kneeling Telford police. B unit got the 5-0 on locks. That's the banana unit, their gang. Has the 5-0, the police, on locks. They got the police in Telford under control. And Bobby Khan says, dogs on their lead. Ha ha ha. His spelling isn't very good, but police, he's laughing at them. They are all laughing at him. We wasn't as interested in Akib Khan, but as it happens, we can see from this article of Legal Futures that the Solicitors Regulation Authority decided, and their professional standards aren't exactly the highest, but they decided, what with Akib being a convicted stalker, making threatening phone calls to a woman and following her in his vehicle? Akib, was it the posh one that you rented for your TikTok video? Well, they decided you had better work your trainee solicitor arse off in a different profession. You were banned from working in the legal profession in June 2021. So unlike this website, it would appear that Akib Khan hasn't got a legal future. But for this film, we're much more interested in the story of Akib's brother.
What do you want, Nicole?
I don't want to be living this for the rest of my life. I want to be able to move on and bring my kids up. I've got 2 girls now. But I'm glad I've met you myself.
I'm glad for you, baby. You obviously understand my objective in this is simply the truth. If the truth doesn't fit certain things, I just want the truth.
So I feel calm. I was like when I was 13 in his car. I was Natasha Fruit in his flat at Barn Close, and I was 13. I went there numerous times, but at this time my dad found me.
This is the story we've heard from your dad's. And you're 13 then.
Nicole was in number 49 in hysterics. Janine went into number 49, and that's where Nicole was crying her eyes out. She got brought downstairs by Janine down the block of flats. Well, obviously me and my brother, we were still up on the top floor. As I come down that block of flats and come out, I called the police and sat Nicole in the car outside. She was in hysterics. Her uncle John, he'd come to her. And she said she'd been raped.
He was that hurt by it. He got out of the car and he couldn't wait for the police to come. He needed to go. And then Mark's brother, Paul, he sat in the car with her. She'd explained to him what had gone on. And then the police asked him to go to the police station. And he said what was said in that statement. It was heartbreaking, and I'll never forget it from that day to this.
What they did to him?
Yeah.
Then after that, it was short time after that, that's when Billy Scott appeared at our house, sat on our settee with a DS Cindy Henry, and turned around and said nothing had happened at the block of flats. Nothing had happened.
And who raped you in that flat? Just him?
Yeah.
So how old was he?
He must have been pushing his 30s.
And this is when the police were involved?
Yeah.
But you were already pregnant to a Kiowa case. When you've got
But at that time, I didn't know, so I started feeling really ill, and I came home from school and I was locking myself away. And one day I thought something's not right, so I got my own test and come back positive. And I was at school. I was like, what am I going to do? And I didn't tell anyone, so I found out about 3 weeks before, and my nan said, Mom, you need to do a test. And obviously I did it.
So then when you've done that, police have got involved. I guess you give a statement explaining about Kiowa and explain.
Well, I've got, Tom, I need to call the police because I've got a big file like that I wrote myself. It's like a diary of every account that happened, every person, every name, every address, every phone number, every registration number. I then told the call crime because when I found out, so I was in a situation that I didn't know what to do, and I got offered £20,000 to keep the baby by Godfrey's Khan.
Godfrey's Khan offered you £20,000?
There was also Sham Hussein, he's from Birmingham. That started when I was 12 until I was nearly 14.
He raped you?
Yeah, he raped me in his car. We went to Newport, there was a field, and drove down that field, at the back lane.
How old was you?
13 and a half.
And what's his name?
Sham Hussein, and he had a silver Corsa, 12 plate, that new shape.
And he took you out was it pitch black or in
It was daylight.
Daylight?
Yeah, and there was a lady, and she had some dogs, and she was like, what are you doing? She's a child. Then there was Khan. He took me to the back of Shifnal to buy a tree and raped me there. I was about 13. I met him at McDonald's car park where I did oral sex in the car with him.
How old was she?
13. They're like, oh, well, she hasn't made an effort today. So then you're beaten.
So you were forced to attempt to look good and impressive for their sexual desires.
Yeah. It's like now,
through fear of being attacked by them.
because of this, I don't wear makeup on a regular. It's because I've come here today. I don't wear makeup, and I can go out my house with a plain face and feel alright. I can go out, not looking like a tramp, but be a different person because I was forced for so long to have that look.
Yeah.
And I'm only just getting back to myself where I can feel comfortable in my own body. Because for so long there was like, oh, you're fat, you're this, you're that. So for so long, I tried to be someone I wasn't.
One sort of descriptive terms they use for you.
I was called a girl.
You was called a girl.
Which is a white bitch.
Do you remember who by?
Numerous of virtually all of them.
Were they using that term when abusing you, when sexually abusing you?
Both. Like if you didn't, like I say, if you didn't look a certain way, they'd be like the slaggy girls here.
So you regularly called a white bitch?
So I was constantly like feeling like I had to be someone I wasn't.
What we've done is we've sat with 4 or 5 girls. We've got names. We've got a wall, the whole size of that wall, yeah, with who they are, their links, their family trees. It's all in you. I'm going to tell you no more than anyone. It's all intertwined. The ages you were.
I want you to understand the scale of the investigation we've done. We've sat down, along the top here you'll see survivors. They're survivors, not victims. You'll see that from the courage they show during these series. We have survivors, we have their parents. We sit down with them. Sometimes we interview them for 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 hours, sometimes 2, 3 times. We then take the interviews, we go through, we transcribe it, and we take out the details and the names that they give us that the allegations are against for who's raped them, yeah? And we build a spreadsheet in a database like this. So this is the spreadsheet, and if we go through, I want you to see the scale. We're looking for page 6 on this, and we have the name of the perpetrators, we have accessories to the crimes, we have specifically, this box is the specific crimes and the certain detail that we need to know, yeah? And if we go through at the end, when you see it highlighted in red, that is where a victim has named a perpetrator. So the perpetrator's names are down here, and for this I'm going to page 6, because I want to see Bugsy, our friend Bugsy, Goldfresh Khan, the big timer. And Bugsy, if we get here, this is Goldfresh Khan, number 12. We have the allegations against him, the serious allegations against him, addresses, and then 1, 2, 3. This means he's been named by 3 different survivors as being involved in their prostitution, in their trafficking, and in their rape. Let's carry on going so you can see the scale of this, okay? We've ended up with hundreds of names. We know the police investigation identified over 200 men in Telford alone, yeah? We've done that with only 10 victims, okay? There's 1,000 victims in Telford. Now we keep going, look, it keeps going, you get the point, yeah? I just want you to realise the scale of the investigation we've done our homework, we've pieced it together, and that creates what we're going to see now.
This isn't all of them, okay? And I've separated these into tribes because they separate themselves into tribes. These gangs, there's different gangs that operate in different parts of the town. We're focusing on this, okay? This is the family tree we're looking at in a minute. We have Bugsy, we have Charlie Khan, we have allegations against pretty much every family member, okay? But we're going after the ones with multiple allegations. When you say you met them, the names you just listed, this is your 12 years old working in this Indian restaurant. Did you have, was there abuse from each of them?
With Will Khan, as we know. I got pregnant when I was 13, that's from abortion.
Let's say with Will Khan. And was he regularly? Was he sexual contact? Was he raping you?
Yeah, it was sex. Yeah.
It was sex. How often?
It was just the once.
Just the once.
Because I knew it wasn't right. Like something wasn't right. Like they were getting me to do things. Otherwise they would blackmail me.
Do you mind me asking what they would?
They would blackmail me and say they would kill me.
Yeah.
They would go and tell my dad, and that was my biggest fear, telling my dad.
So Will Khan, he said he's raped you when you were 13.
Yeah.
Were you impregnated? Yeah. Where did that happen?
It happened on Donington Box
police and you gave them all this information, you was willing to be a witness in the case?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it's like information was given from my dad, accounts from my mum of what she knew, and all of a sudden it was NFA, and it was like.
So you give the police a catalogue of names, locations, dates of rape, of abuse, and what did that? And so from your point of view, at that point, how old were you in 2013?
For 8 years after
How old are you now?
22.
22. So you're 14. So when you're 14, you give all the police, you give statements to all of this, and each one of them have got no further action.
No further action.
How did you feel then?
I gave up. I gave up trying. It's like now we still go on about it, and it's like you're not getting any further forward, so just quit. Because the more you go back,
You're still living it.
You're still living it, and it's affected me mentally. You know, it's affected my life. But I can't. Yeah, I don't go to a GP and be like, oh, well, I've got this one.
Have you had counselling?
This one, no.
You've never had any counselling? Have you been offered counselling? From nobody?
No.
Would you like counselling?
I would, because I've got PTSD, anxiety and depression, and I feel like I've got a big weight on my shoulders.
You have got a big weight on your shoulders, man.
But I move forward, Tom.
So you're 14 years old, all the charges have been, there's been no further action. Was you given a reason for no further action?
Well, I wasn't, but they were.
Okay, so one of these men, you're pregnant, you had an abortion. What was that like at 13 years old?
It's trauma. Like, it still plays a part of my life. And it never goes away. I nearly lost my daughter, Tom. My current daughter that I've just had.
Yeah.
I've been through so much with her, and I thought, I've lost her. Well, if you see her now, Tom, she's thriving.
Is she? Good.
And I did that. But she's me, she's the double of me. That's my evidence. So I look at her and I think, you're my strength. You're my rock. I fear for their life. I don't care about myself, Tom, I don't. If they're gonna have me, they're gonna have me. But don't hurt my kids.
Okay, I'll just rewind back to again. So when you were pregnant, you've had an abortion, the police are involved, you're 13 years old. There's possibly two men that could have been the father.
Yeah, which was a Will Khan and Natasha Food.
And did you find out who the father was?
It was only after the fetus was sent for DNA that it came back that it was a Will Khan.
Okay, so there was a 100% DNA match on a Will Khan.
I had it.
So when you've gone through this police investigation, so you've given a statement, you've sat down with the police. Did they make an arrest?
Not straight away.
No.
No.
How long did it take for them to arrest him?
About 3 months, but then he was bailed. And then I had all the threats.
From?
Will Khan.
Will Khan was threatening. So whilst on bail, he was threatening you?
Yeah, I was a fat bitch, I was all the rest of it. Why did I go and open my mouth? What's coming to me.
Did you tell the police about the threats?
They had it on messages.
They had the threats on messages. What did they do?
Nothing. Clearly, they haven't given them nothing.
And am I right that he was given no further action? And he was a 13-year-old child?
Yeah. But there was a DNA match.
There's a 100% DNA match on a fetus.
It makes you think, because there was Baraj Singh. Yes, I had interactions with him sexually. He got charged, but someone that has a full DNA match is an NFA.
What reason was given?
I don't know, Tom. I didn't have the paperwork.
Because you was a child.
What
reason was you told?
I wasn't.
No.
They haven't sat down with me and showed me any file.
The police haven't.
But if someone, like Baraj Singh, you know, you meet, you have sexual contact, whatever,